Holly, we're back. How are you?
I am ready. I am getting a whole lot for you, my dear.
I'm ready.
It's funny because you and I have this is not our first time chatting. So, for some people who will be connecting to me, it will be our first time.
Yeah,
Um, it it doesn't matter if it's 100 times over because new messages come through or new
yeah,
shifts in perspective
sure.
to be able to serve what's going on now and what needs to be heard.
Yeah,
So my biggest practice is I don't question and I say whatever comes to me because it's not of me, it's not of Holly thoughts, it's beyond that. And so I don't have a right to filter that. So
yeah. And it
it
could mean something to me and not you, so you never know.
That's right. So, first and foremost, the biggest thing that is really coming through is about one of the many facets of your soul purpose this time around. So, I love your soul. You know that. I love your soul. I connect so heavily to you. It's from such a higher realm. It's from such a healing place. I know that they're termed light workers and things like that.
Mm,
Everything that I get is that that wasn't necessarily apparent to you in the beginning, in your younger years, but there was always something where you felt an affinity towards these types of things or just, questioning, but it hasn't been all consuming in your life. So that is something that kind of really, it was like a snowball effect and it just kept building and building and building until there was more of a comfort level to really be ready. So just know that that was completely on purpose. There were things that you had to experience in younger years, relationships, people in your life, people that came and went, people that, you felt like, geez, why didn't that work out? I don't understand. Why did it have
yes,
to be that way?
yeah,
And so all of that was on purpose. So you'll see me you'll see me doing this a lot because my validation is mainly physical for the most part, and I get goosebumps that are so strong that they actually hurt sometimes. So if you see goosebumps on my face, that's fine. So those things needed to happen in their time. I like to term it divine time.
yeah,
That doesn't come from a religious sense. That literally comes from what I believe. This is a divine space that we come from, and so that is the timeline that
yeah,
we've agreed to and that we're on. So the later, it's not because you weren't ready. It's not because you couldn't handle it. It's not because this is something that just developed for you, kind of ongoing. It's always been dormant. It's always been there. Your higher self couldn't allow that veil to be too thin because you would
mm,
not have experienced the lessons that you needed to experience or the relationships that you
right.
needed to experience. So, as empaths, it's very real that we're drawn to heavy, strong personalities. And most of that sometimes can be narcissistic personalities, people that need the most healing in their life. And so,
Oh, yeah,
yeah. And so when we get into those relationships, we can feel like, geez, how was I blind? How was I such a sucker for this? How was I so blind? No, know that the higher and more pure your energy tends to be, the stronger those people that need to be healed. They come into our lives very purposefully, and it helps to teach us lessons as it provides healing for them. So
right.
it's never on one-way street. It really is reciprocal in every way. And so I feel like your perspective has shifted to that now, but maybe 20, 30 years ago, if somebody were to tell you that, yeah. So
Well, I would listen, but I would, I'm in a completely different place, but it's also been that many years.
that's right. That's right. So, it really is it's such a blessing, for you to know that in hindsight, for you to just look back and say, geez, it wasn't that it was this, that, the other thing, any of those ego thoughts that have crept in about why wasn't I better then? Or why didn't I understand
Yeah,
things then? You
love it.
just aren't supposed to, flat out. So your soul is so, it's so much higher than a lot that I connect to. You really do have that healing place. You come from an amazing light. And so your soul has always encompassed that. And it has been very calculated with this lifetime, because this is one of many, 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 many. And so you have handpicked the people who are going to be your greatest teachers. You are in graduate school. This is your thesis. You have picked amazing instructors, where maybe you would have questioned, why is this person in my life?
Well, it's funny though, because I feel like what meeting all of you people and putting this all together with Holistic Campus, I'm so honored, but I'm so honored and humbled by that. And maybe that's why, maybe all of it, I don't know, but to me, it's an enormous deal to be able to do this work. It's beautiful.
This is the goosebumps come, and this is the time. So you came earlier in this time space continuum, if you will, right? So I'm a little younger, but that matters not. That matters not. So what we've come for, what we've been gearing towards, why we're all kind of starting to match in this vibrational sense, is because this is truly the age of awakening. I can't say that enough, universally speaking, but mainly for this planet. So I used to struggle a lot with, why the heck am I on this, primitive planet? Because it needs healing. Right. Because this planet needs serious healing. And so that's why there's so many of us that feel so connected, and oh my gosh, you too, wow, you experience that too, you dream like that too, you have thoughts like this too. So yes, this is your time, and it's also a lot of other people's time. So everything about your soul contract, if you will, for this life is what I was connecting most heavily to, because this is really the validation and the confirmations that you need to continuously hear. You need to continuously hear that you're not pushing the boundaries in any way. You're not trying to pave a new way. You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. Like you said, you're completely humble in this, and that is 100% genuine, because your soul has recognized the fact that now is the time. You have the reach to be able to bring people together, and that has also been purposeful. You didn't come out of the blue and say, I'm going to write a book. I'm an amazing author, and I'm going to write a book, and this is what I'm going to write about it. No, that was a struggle for you to get to kind of conclude, like, geez, can I even say that? Am I even going to, I'm really going to put that down in the book? Like, there was a serious stripping of ego going on through that whole process, and that was actually helped to prepare you for now. So there's a lot more to come. I'm really excited to be connected with you now, in this space, because it's amazing. It's amazing how calculated, and this is something that I've seen as a common theme. A lot of people who are experiencing kind of this higher connection, this higher dimension of consciousness, if you will, whatever term you'd like to put on it, being interested in this metaphysical sense, knowing that there's so much more beyond what we're experiencing right now, and that's the true place. That's really what we're gaining towards. And that's something that you've had a lot of momentum in recent years. And so that momentum is not going to stop. So you're going to meet people that are even higher connected, having these conversations that just seem to uplift you so much so that you're like, oh my gosh, this is really healing me. Yes, because it's a network of healing. So this website just fits what you've been trying to accomplish. It's a facet of what you've been trying to get to from a soul perspective. It's how you can manifest it in the physical sense here. Technology. It had to be of this age. We had to have this ability to be able to connect with people far and wide. It doesn't matter.
So what you're saying here is the whole part of Holistic Campus and everything else, it's all been planned all the way along.
100%. 100%. The moment of it has absolutely been planned by your soul. You have constructed this. You have made contracts with other souls that you have come in contact with, and we have all grouped together. Whether it's been each and every individual, it has been every individual practitioner, the key players, and those connections. You know the key players that you have a deeper connection with, you know, or just in the similar sense that there's certain people. Trust the fact that those certain people were the ones at the round table in the others being like, we're going to do this. We need to do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely get that part of it. And I do think that writing the book was just a step. It was just a step. It wasn't the end.
It really was. That is not the end all. That is not even close. It was just such a good, it was a way to start stripping away those layers.
That, I love that though, stripping the ego. That's so cool. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, it's so funny when I was connecting, even, you know, before this, because as soon as I make the intention to connect for, you know, a healing higher purpose, I can't operate that way all the time. I'd be like, you know,
yeah.
I can't do that. So I have to purposely say, okay, you know, I'm going to be to myself and output healing, but not take so much in. As soon as I open the door to be able to connect, the first thing that I saw, it's a visual representation of your soul, which is how I see a lot of other people. That is how it's interpreted, as far as, like, I hate to say levels, because I don't mean to say that people are higher than others, but it's just a certain presence, and your soul is beaming. I mean, it is beaming. It's so glorious. I love to connect to your soul. And it was so funny to connect to your higher self. And for the translation, which is part of that intuitive ability, that psychic ability, all it is for me is translating. So I'm translating that energetic feeling into words that we can understand. Right. And so the way that it was, you sat there and spoke to me and you were like, I planned this whole thing out, start to finish. I know what I'm doing. And you are like confident in this. So I just hope that, you know, kind of shines through in your human self and that ego. I hope that that sits in your power, because that is you. You know what you're doing. You have been around this merry-go-round so many times, and it's on purpose. It hasn't been because you needed to learn more. Oh, I didn't learn this and that. Like, no, you're on point. You know what you're doing. You set realistic goals for your life, you know, in each incarnation, in each experience, if you will. And in this particular experience, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about bringing souls together that have a common higher purpose. And that is going to, like we've said before, I've said this, you know, phrase to you, raise the collective consciousness, raise the collective vibration.
The whole point.
It's happening. It's happening. And this is just, I don't know what it means as far as going further, because this is the feeling that I get. It makes complete sense. It's validated by the fact that Holistic Campus is happening. Your books have happened. You have reached many people, allowing them to look deeper within themselves and start to strip their own ego, so that way they can live, you know, to a higher purpose, to connect more to their higher selves. However, Holistic Campus is not the end either. I mean, this goes bigger. This goes bigger. I'm telling you, it goes bigger. I am really excited to be part of it, and it really aligns with everything that I'm trying to do. So that first and foremost was what came through. Absolutely. So, you know, some people that come to me really want to connect to past loved ones. If that's not that higher place, I connect way higher. And so we're talking soul purpose, soul connections, you know, what you've contracted for, what you're even doing here, and why. And so just saying some of those things can really, if it resonates with you, if you feel it like, boom, oh my gosh, like, wow, that sounds like such truth. Don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. I'm not doing this for my ego. This is everything coming through from you, from your higher self. I'm just the translator. So yeah, you know what you're doing. You are completely on track and then some. This is an uphill situation. This is not the plateau. It's not even close to the plateau. I'm telling you. It's really amazing. Yeah. Yeah, and it starts with you. It really does start with you. That's how cool your higher self is. That's how much of a higher place you've come from. You're able to gather like minds, like spirits, with like abilities, because they come from a similar place with similar intentions. You are able to become more and more of a magnet, and you are able to set a platform that reaches more people globally, different countries, different cultures, different religious backgrounds, different the point is going to be that this is going to resonate with people. Your energy, your soul, your intention, everything you're manifesting, it is being heard. It is coming back to you. It absolutely will.
Oh, no, I get the chills.
Yep. So that's your validation. Oh yeah. Yep. So that was absolute first and foremost. There were not many things about your personal life, if you will. You know, I know some people want to go and they want to hear the thing like, oh, you know, I'm fighting with my boyfriend or I'm doing this. No, because that's not of your concern. That's not something that's affecting you. You're on a roll, man. I just feel you. I keep getting the goosebumps. I keep feeling you waking up. And it's almost like this sense of awe. This is the feeling that I get. This is the best way that I could say it. Even though you have some days that you're like, geez, man, am I really ready for that? Like, am I cut?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So we all have that though. But I'm talking about the majority of the sense. When you're in alignment, when you're tuned in and you're tapped in, you're turned on, you can feel, whew, I'm doing it. There is something, I am doing this. There is really something here. I'm on track, you know, just that sense of, oh man, I get to wake up another day and experience this. I really get to share this again. Like, there's just a joy that comes out of you that's just so apparent to me anyway.
No, that's exactly what it feels like. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a beam. It's a beam. And I can picture you, even sometimes, like I said, maybe not the every day, because that's not the human experience.
Yeah.
So, but the majority of the fact, I almost feel you like laying in your bed, you know, kind of opening your eyes, and that first wave of like, oh, yes. All right. We're going to do another day of this. It's so cool.
That is how I wake up.
Perfect.
Because
Because I feel it. I totally feel it.
Like, it's so much work. It's all, oh my God, I love it. I love every bit of it. I just.
Correct.
Oh.
Yes. And it's not false. Like, I feel like that's so important. And maybe in the beginning, I don't even get a real sense of that, but it would make sense, you know, if you will. It's not the energetic translation right now, but it would make sense from a human aspect if in the beginning you felt like, you know, geez, am I doing this the right way? You know, is this going to come across the right way?
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that takes over a lot of what's going on anymore. I really feel like you have, you've aligned yourself more and more and more. You know, I keep doing this with my hands. I know you can't see. So aligning yourself and just coming into this alignment. And when you're in this space, you're unstoppable. I tell people, when you are aligned like this, you feel invincible because you feel so connected to your higher self that it feels like you're never alone. You're not wrong. You're not crazy.
Now, it's so funny though, all of the, and I do feel all of those things, but those people around me, they don't. Like,
they don't.
Family-wise. And I think if there's one thing that's kind of off, it's that. They're like, you know,
are you okay?
I feel it, but they're like, okay, whatever.
You know what? It's okay. I am going to say this not in a predictive sense, but what's going to happen, what will happen, what naturally happens in this progression, people will fall away that you don't expect to fall away.
Yeah.
And people will come to you that you didn't even plan on. And so that doesn't necessarily mean in a romantic sense. I don't mean that, but I just mean relationship-wise, connection-wise, however that works, professionally, family-wise. You know, it's just certain facets, maybe not the entire connection, because that truly doesn't leave us. We chose them on purpose most times. And a lot of the times in our situation with, you know, coming from this healing sense, it's for their healing and it's for our lesson learning. It's to add to our soul. So to be able to know that even though there's that resistance, without friction, there's no growth. So they are actually motivating you to be more set in your power every day, to know, no, what they're saying isn't resonating with me, because that's not how I feel. That's a projection of how they feel. I feel good about this. I feel happy about that. I feel motivated by this.
Yeah,
Like, I'm ready.
absolutely. Yeah. Now that's so funny though, but yeah, no, I feel that way all the time.
Yeah.
But the one thing that stops me just from the human element, as you say, and it doesn't stop me. It's like I look and like, come on, come with me.
Exactly. So, to know that it's the deepest connections that we've made from the start, or parents, children, siblings, whoever has been in your life for a really long time. Those are mainly the connections that are either, it's not an either. I can't even say that because it's always multifaceted. They're teachers, they're learners, and you're a teacher and a learner at the same time. They're providing healing to you as you're providing healing to them. It just doesn't translate in the same way. So it may look like there's a disconnect. Everything is on purpose, especially for you. Your soul, it's amazingly calculated. It really, really is, in the best sense, because your higher self, you know what you're doing. You really know what you're doing.
What about the whole walk-in thing with me? Was that, I always wondered if that was really supposed to happen. It's so out there. It's so different from anything that's ever happened before.
I mean, the difference, so all of that experience, the one theme that I get, it's a running theme, it's a running stream of energy that says that was for you to step up and step out. That was meant for you to be able to shed the rest of the doubt, what's going on, what's happening, all of these things. That was completely on purpose to be able to set these stages. Every single thing. I know the cliche is completely overused with, everything happens for a reason, everything works out, things fall apart, so things can fall to. Listen, we experience things because we gain from them, whether it's in that moment or 20 years in hindsight.
Right.
From it. And so, yes, that whole experience, as foreign as it felt at first, was because you needed to be punched in the face a little bit with this. You had to lift the veil. I mean, how else to get you to go from that, that heavier curtain to like, oh, wait a second.
That's so funny, Holly, because that's exactly what it felt like when, and I'm so lucky to be able to talk to all these people. And one recurring theme that comes through is like, you woke up like a train, like it happened. Now,
punch in the face.
But it's like that part started with that walk-in. That's what did it. And over the last 7 years, it's just getting better and better, and the alignment is happening.
Yes. So it's just so validating to the energy that I felt. So I call it like a rocket ship launch. That's how I describe mine.
Like I was like, whoa.
Whoa, hang on, we're going for a ride, And so that's that punch in the face, because that's the energy that I felt like this, it just boom, like hit you, and it needed to hit you in that way, in that time, divine timing, and the whole bit. That's the part of the calculated situation that I'm talking about. So you being able to experience that, having it shake you needed a shake.
Yeah.
And the shake helped to shed. Once you shed, you were able, the experiences come and come and come, because they come as you're more open and willing to receive them. The more open you become, the more, it's almost as if as soon as you get right in alignment with one of these lessons, if you will, like, oh my gosh, this is real. I can feel this. I'm not crazy. This is actually validated. Like, wow, there's something here. As soon as you sit right with that, the next one comes along. And it makes you say the same thing again, like, whoa, this is really? Yeah. I can, like, these are abilities, seriously? And it just keeps going. That's the snowball effect that I described from earlier. That's what I feel. I feel it gaining and gaining and gaining, because it's supposed to. You are not even close to where you're going to hit. I mean, nope.
This is so amazing, because I really, really thought that whole piece with the book I wrote and the walk-in, I thought that was the culmination. And from my heart, it is. It absolutely is. But it's amazing to think that this makes so much sense, Holly. It needed to smack me in the face and say, okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yes.
Amazing thing that I still can't believe happened every day happened, and I just didn't think it was more was coming.
Oh yeah. So hence the fact that there's like, there's no dead grandma coming through, because you don't need a dead grandma right now. What you need is to hear this. Okay? Grandma can come another time. We'll chat about grandma.
I talk to grandma all the time. She's awesome.
Okay, there you go. That's why. She's like, I don't care. I'm just here. Go, girl. You tell her what you need to hear. So I mean, truly, I'm in awe. I'm in awe of the fact that it's not, I don't know how to describe it. You can see me like struggling for the words because it's not
Which is not normal for you, Holly.
I know. They flow pretty easy. I had an English teacher tell me verbal diarrhea. I was like, oh, that's unusual.
Oh, man.
When it flows, it flows. I tell people that like they're on this path to growth. You're not on a path to growth. You are on a path to shedding. You just keep shedding and shed. Your light is so bright. You come from such a higher place. Listen, you couldn't handle that at 5 years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years. No, you had to experience those things because that wasn't just for you. Those were experiences to help heal other people. And with a different perspective, that healing would not have happened the way that it needed to. And so you needed to be in the place that you were consciously, physically. You had to be in those situations just the way they were. Your soul has such a feeling of ascension, that it isn't growth. All it is you continuing to peel back the curtain more and more and more. That's the snowball. The snowball is it keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming because it's already there. There's nothing you need to necessarily grow with. Your soul will suck up these lessons. It will gain, it will heal, but through the healing is the gaining. Through the healing is the fulfilling.
So like the whole point with Holistic Campus and the collective consciousness raising, that is the whole mission.
Oh yeah.
That's me. Okay, great. But what about I want to go and do is heal the world like you say, which is
I know.
I don't mean it that way, but that's what I want to be doing out, focusing out.
Truly. Just know that part of the message that I shared with you, I had a personal message, in my own path that helped to realign me when I was struggling to realize, why do I keep getting pulled to this situation, this geographical location? Yeah. All I want to do is be in remote areas and heal whoever I can heal. Why am I not able to do this? Why am I not in India right now? Why am I not somewhere? You know what? Because just because our, our human brain has thought of one way to do something, no. There are so many different perspectives that we're missing when we start to get set on one facet. And so the important thing, very much the core message that we cannot get around in this little session that we're having here is the fact that this is your path to global healing. Just like my message was, you got to start here. Mm-hmm. You're going to start here. Holistic Campus is going to be that start. Do not think that this wasn't completely constructed by your higher self. Your higher self didn't say, I'm going to name the website Holistic Campus, okay? No. No, it didn't do that.
Changed too.
So, your higher self, however, did construct, I see this. Does this make sense? I see this. This is what your higher self meant to do. That is what you're doing. You are bringing together. You're connecting. You are making a network. I see like trees. I see like a very naturalistic sense, a very deep-rooted, grounded network. That is what you have started here through this.
And we just get to keep going. We just keep going.
It will. I'm telling the goosebumps. If you can see the goosebumps from here, the goosebumps that I am getting, I'm telling you right now, it's so validating in every sense. I mean, this is it's going to be a global, it's going to be beyond. It's going to be beyond because
And it's going to do what it has set out to do. It's
That's
going to
correct.
do that.
That's correct. There's not a timeline associated to that. I struggle with those sometimes during a reading because the soul doesn't know time.
Yeah, exactly. There is no time. Yeah.
Please. Okay. No, there's no time. It's not like, okay, 5 years and 6 months,
Yeah.
you're going to be doing this. No, just know that that is what it's building towards. And it feels years away. It feels 3-4 years away from really reaching that point where you are going to sit back in awe and be like, I can't believe it came to this. I can't believe we're at this level. That's still not the end.
There's my choosing.
There it is. There's your validation. I'm telling you, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. You're completely in your purpose. You're completely in your power. So the chirps that you're hearing, from other people, are mainly reflections of their fear to opening up and receiving this type of thing, and the fears that they have for you, branching out and doing this and kind of living in your truth. No, through the validation that you've shared, it's just giving you more motivation to be like, no, man, I can feel the truth in this. This resonates so deeply. What you're saying doesn't. All I hear is come closer to me. Come closer. Yeah. So that makes sense with you saying, come over here. It's not like joining the dark side, right? So it's like,
Yeah, I call it joining the light side.
no wonder. I don't even know Star Wars. That reference just came to mind. So that makes sense that it would resonate with you. Because I was like, it's the opposite of joining the dark side. So yeah.
Exactly. Join the
There
light
you go. Joining the light side. Yeah. I mean, joining the truth. Just getting people closer to their higher self. That's all they need. They don't need me. I'm not the end all be all.
No.
All I am is, I call it a wand of permission. That's kind of what I've been toting around lately.
Right.
That's the connections that I've made. It's like a ding. You now have permission to say, wow, not only is this real because of something crazy I've said that's validating. They're like, how'd you know I drowned in a lake at 6 years old? I don't know, it just came to me. So, but, to be able to just say, there's something higher. That feeling that you get? Honor that. Go for that. Keep paying attention to that. It creates a lifestyle of mindfulness that opens up the possibilities. It's
just
really inspiring. Yeah, it really is. So yes, there's no dead grandmas today. There's no.
It's okay. It's okay.
Everything in this is validation, and also to know that the reason why you feel like, oh my gosh, it's building, there's something building, because you're going to keep feeling the build. It's going to keep going. It's the snowball.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Let that sit with you for a little bit.
Oh.
Amazing. Your soul is so cool. I really love it.
Oh, Holly, thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very, very welcome.
I love you to pieces.
I love you so much. Thank you so much for letting me share this.
Oh, God, Thank you, honey. All right, we'll talk again.
Okay, absolutely.